Talking to Charlton manager Karl Robinson ahead of Saturday's match at Northampton. Karl, a few weeks ago you were talking about making a late push for the playoffs. Now after 7 without a win, you're looking over your shoulder at the opposite end of the table.
Yeah. Listen, I didn't get too carried away with things when I first walked in. I'm not going to get too carried away with things now. I think the most important thing is where we go from here. And I've spoken about changing a culture. There's certain things that I don't want around this club or associated with this club that I can't. I've got to keep the head above water first before we move forward. And I think it's important that I just find the right blend of players who need to be here in some ways.
In an interview this week, club captain Johnny Jackson suggested that maybe some of the players lack mental strength. Do you subscribe to that?
Yeah. To play for this club, you need it. There's some people find my words harsh. I class them as the truth. And if you find them harsh, the industry will eat you up. The press will eat you up. Not you, you're nice. The press will eat you up, and the game will. This club is constantly under pressure. So you need, and Johnny knows what that's like because he's been here through so many different periods. So the second I walk in this building, he is one of the nicest people I've met, and his application, his dedication to this football club is unrivaled, and he knows where I'm coming from, and I know exactly where he's coming from.
Are you as manager confronting a problem that these players are not as good as you thought they were?
Oh, no, I just think they have to prove why they were brought here in the first place. To audition in some ways for getting promoted next year. And it's they've got to get it right. Because they want to be part of this journey. They've got to prove to me they're willing to do and go the extra mile.
You stated that 3 wins will guarantee survival starting at Northampton on Saturday.
I think when you look over the years, I think 50 points has always been the benchmark that everybody's looked at. In most leagues, I think it's 40 points in the Premier League. So I don't think, listen, I'm not looking at that at all. I'm looking at the next game. If you get too wrapped up in the fight that you're in or the chase that you're chasing, I think sometimes you can get bogged down with all the woes and the what ifs. Rather than what is going to happen on Saturday. And we've fully prepared ourselves for the job in hand. We were in yesterday. We got back at 3:30 in the morning on Wednesday, and then they were in for 12. Really interesting day, really. I did something yesterday that I've not done before, and it was very interesting, and I'm very pleased with every single player yesterday.
Can you elaborate on what
you
did?
We brought them in. We split them into 2 groups. They sat down and watched the game in 2 groups, and they delivered to me what they thought was wrong as if they were the coach. And it was nice to sit there, and quite often or not, if you give the responsibilities to players, they do what you think is right anyway. So all of my problems that I had with the game, they elaborated on themselves, and they were finger pointing amongst themselves, and they were accepting criticism as men. So, and then I took them onto the pitch, and we walked through 1 or 2 things, and then it was really, really good. And so, for as much as what you can be disappointed with them, you've got to be honest and say yesterday was a very, very good day, and I'm happy that they took the criticism in the right way, and they are looking to try and put it right.
What will it take to turn things around, and just how exasperated are you as a manager?
It's hard, it's tiring, but I said to you when I walked in this door, this is going to be the biggest challenge. I knew that. I'm young, I'm fresh, and I'm ready for the challenge still. And every day is a learning day, whether you're 36, 56, 66, 76, whatever you are. You as a manager, you're constantly learning and evolving with the group that you're working with. The difficulty, if people will say, obviously not having no Pierce, no Bauer, no Solly, no Page was ill before the game. obviously from Foxy's moved on. No Adam Ola. So when you look at the team that maybe would have been here at the beginning of the season, you've probably got 5 or 6 that still aren't part of that, and that's not through me edging them out. 70%, 30% yes, 70% no. So you've got a lot of changes in that as well, and it was evolving, it was changing. There were people that were always going to leave, and the people that were looking to leave maybe in the summer, and it's about finding the right balance. And I need to know, I've all morning been looking at a list of players for next season, and I'm already trying to tie certain things down. And I remember, I think 23 players came in the year that you finished 15th in League One. I'm not too sure whether they'll bring in 23, but it was I think one of the remits of the manager in that summer was players who wanted to be here, and players who felt that this was, I use the pinnacle because I don't want this to be on the way down. I want this for people on the way up, because I think if you get people on the way down, they're here for different reasons, and that's not, sometimes people on the way down are here for the right reasons, to build up some of the young players. So if you're coming back from there, it's got to be to support the talent of the youth. If you're coming up through here, there's only one way you can go. If these ones coming down can bring the young ones up, and the ones that are already here who are young in themselves are going in a direction, that's the type of players that I want. And like I say, it happened a few years ago, and it gives us a little bit of success. And then once we get this team, then we've got to build on that next team. So we spoke at the hamster wheel the other week about it constantly turning. It's turning quicker than ever. I feel a bit dizzy because I'm in the middle of it. But it's about finding some sort of constants. I want what a fan wants. I want a team of happy players, exciting players, with a tremendous desire to win for the football club. Every time you put a shirt on, you should be willing to put everything into it. And when you take it off, knowing that you couldn't have put any more into it. And they're the two things. The pride of putting your jersey on, and then the pride in yourself that you couldn't have give it any more when you take it off. That's what every fan asks for. That's what they do when they put their shirt on a Saturday. They put their shirt on and they commit themselves to supporting their team, singing for their team, and giving their all to the players that are going to wear the similar shirt. And when they go home at night, they take it off. They want to be able to take it off with 3 points, that their team supported them as well. So you can see the type of people I want. You know the type of people I want. We've spoken many times. And it's going to take a lot more hard work, and a lot more dedication, and a lot more of an application to the right type of people. And they may be here. We'll find out in due course.
Do you have any sympathy for Ricky Holmes? Scores a hat-trick on an away ground, and of course he's back at his former club Northampton on Saturday.
Listen, take the goals away. I think he was the hardest working player on the pitch. Take the goals away. The stats will prove that as well. Scored the most distance, scored the most high intensity meters per minute. That's why you score goals, because you work hard. Tremendous individual. And when I walked in the door, I was without him for 10 games. I never got the chance to have him and Addy in the same team, and that was a big disappointment in some ways. But at the beginning of the season, Addy and Ricky were the X factor, weren't they, in some ways? We've got to find that in a different way at the moment, while we're sort of reshuffling and getting ourselves ready for the challenge at the back end of the season.
You've shown that you've not been afraid to make changes. Are you likely to do another reshuffle at Northampton?
I've got to find the right blend. We've played 4-4-2, 4-3-3, 4-2-3-1. No one can ever say that we're predictable. Nobody can say that we don't have many people up front. We've tried every component possible. But we just got to find them. Listen, I've got to do what it takes to try and win to the end of the season. Then I'll find players to suit the way I want to play going forward. But at the moment, I've got to find players who can play in a system. And you know what? Listen, sometimes when you criticise, the people subsequently have this blanket criticism. It's not a blanket criticism. There's a proportion. And I don't think if I have a question, anybody wants to sit down and prove to me that I'm wrong. So, but the way they've responded yesterday was outstanding. I really was happy with them yesterday. Very critical of them, very honest, and I just hope that leads into success on Saturday.
And finally, big fight Saturday, Hay Bellew. Are you tipping the Liverpool lad?
Do you know what? I do like the boxing. I've always liked boxing since a kid, and it'll certainly be one I watch. They've both done a lot of talking, haven't they? I'm looking forward to it. I can't see Bellew being able to beat Hay. Obviously, the power of his punching is phenomenal, but I'm just hoping that there's a little bit of just drops his guard a little bit. One thing Tony Bellew certainly can do, he can certainly punch as well. So I know I'm looking forward to it. I really am, but I won't be looking forward to it without 3 points. And the most important boxing fight on Saturday is a football game, the Sixfields, and we'll. So I'm hoping for. I don't care who wins. I just hope I'm watching it with 3 points on the table for Charlton Athletic, and once we get them 3 points, I'll put my feet up, and I'll certainly be watching it. Yeah.
Karl Robinson, thank you very much.
Yeah, Carl, scathing words the other day, but honest, as you said. 40% of the players you mentioned that don't care, has that changed since yesterday after that Clear the Air talk? Has it changed your view?
I think people understand what I'm talking about. Listen, the word professional doesn't materialise over 90 minutes.
No.
It's from the second you wake up on a Monday right the way through to the second you go to sleep on the following Sunday evening. Because without that dedication, you might as well be an amateur or semi-professional. The professional aspect of the game is the detailed way and the mental strength that it takes. There's so many different permutations that go into it. It's not just from the first kick to the last kick on a Tuesday evening or Saturday afternoon. So they have to prove to me that they're not in the 40%, don't they?
Yeah, and it's difficult for you as a manager because you've got to still get the best out of those players while being critical. So that's a hard part of the job as a manager.
No, not at all.
No.
If I'm honest and straight and they know where they stand, just don't drop into that 40%. The only way you can prove me wrong is by your application every single day around this building, and your dedication to the club, and your application when you're away from here, and your quality and your performance on a Saturday. That drags you out to the 40% and into the 60%.
So it's really players' pride in their own performance and taking responsibility.
Yeah, and me. Don't think when I'm speaking to you as a media team that I'm negating myself from this.
No.
I have to put as a responsibility as well. So we're all in it together. That's how it's got to be.
And the players who play on Saturday will all want to wear that Charlton shirt because they'll know that from your message in midweek.
This is a great club. We're so fortunate to be here. We really are. Just understand how lucky you are.
I'm lucky now because I'm covering the club for the first time. I saw you on...
Well, it just shows you in that in itself how you feel being able to walk in this building and to be reporting on this great club. So that's how you feel. How do you expect my players to feel? Be able to play for it?
The stadium, the setup, everything. It's fantastic. And they should have pride in playing for Charlton Athletic.
Yeah, 100%. And I think people know me by now what type of player I like.
Okay.
Cheers, thank you so much.